Hi, welcome to Community Hotline. My name is Monica Weitzel. We're here in Gresham, and tonight we're going to be talking with several different groups with kind of a variety of things to find out about your community. We're going to start out with People for Parks. With me is my friend Kathy Minden. Thanks for being here, Kathy.
Thank you for inviting me.
I'm really glad you're here. I've been trying to get you on here for a while now because you're doing some amazing things in the community and focusing really in an area that really needs some revitalization. It's going through some growing pains, I think, pretty much the Rockwood area, correct? It is. So People for Parks has been very involved. But if you could start out maybe, Kathy, and tell me a little bit about why People for Parks was founded, what your mission is in this community, and why you're involved.
People for Parks began actually in the mid-'70s with Kiwanis members doing parks projects. League of Women Voters behind their parks support, and it became a nonprofit by 1976, and it worked on parks bonds and levies mostly,
so it was mostly
in the community, mostly to support local funding over the years, and then in the about 2003 we did strategic planning, realizing that there were more parks and recreation development needs that should occur, the aging baby boomer population for one, and I'm a member of that, so it's very real.
I'm there too.
It's very real to me. Also to have after-school programming, also greater parks and recreation programs. So we work to support those efforts. So it's East County, but we're also a member of Oregon Recreation and Parks Association, a statewide group that's advocating for better parks and recreation programs.
So when you say, so East County, which means you're focusing on the parks in East County, but the legislative portion of it pretty much affects all of Oregon.
Exactly.
Right? And the League of Women Voters, are you still supporting the People for Parks?
Very much so. One of their action committees at the state level is about parks, the environmental and the bigger issues, because they're all interconnected.
They are.
It's a part of, you can't separate them.
The fabric of our lives,
exactly.
isn't it?
You go, you know, there's no, it is like a chain.
Yeah. Now you, I know, are very active in the League of Women Voters also, so you've kind of connected all these parts of your life, haven't you?
We're looking forward to this coming year. We have some really hot topics coming up.
That's what I heard. There's some big deal stuff going on.
Yes.
Is there any big legislative issues that are coming up regarding parks this year? Or this last year? Weren't there some that came up last year?
There were a number of them about providing financial dollars. You have to consider the state parks are different than your local parks and your urban parks. Mm-hmm. State parks are funded partially through lottery funding, actually.
Oh, okay.
So there is a steady funding stream.
Right.
For state parks.
Okay.
As well as some day use funds and different funding like that. Your local urban parks have to come out of the general fund dollar of the
so
local
you have to fight with everyone else for
funds.
that money.
So
is that kind of how it works?
We have to really work hard for every dollar.
Okay.
And yet it's connected to the quality of life. It reduces the need for fire having to go out on health calls, health-related calls, such as diabetes, kidney disease, things like that. And again, it all comes around because it's all interrelated. So some of the work that we do is really behind the scenes. It's a lot of administrative work. Sometimes it's a good thing. You don't always know what you're getting yourself into.
You think you're going to be out playing in the dirt all day, and instead you're at a desk. Huh?
I think, oh, I'd love to be in the garden, but here I am sitting at this desktop computer because there's so much that has to be connected. And we have wonderful volunteers, as your organization has volunteers.
Yeah, we do.
We couldn't do what we do without volunteers.
I don't think any nonprofit could. How many volunteers do you have? Do you know, Kathy? Does it fluctuate quite a bit? Or?
It fluctuates, but we have over 100, and some of them wonderful support we've had from Umpqua Bank, their Community Connect program. They have really made the children's garden into what it is today.
Which is your baby, isn't it? That's
it's-
kind of your special passion,
that's
isn't
the
it?
fun part for me. And I discovered a children's garden when I attended a conference in Atlanta, and I had a free afternoon, and I went to their botanical garden, and they had a children's garden section. I thought, oh, our kids should have that.
Yeah.
Our community
Are there
should
any
have
other
that.
children's gardens around here?
Not that I've seen that's like this, because we haven't, people, well, what's a children's garden? Is it just plants? Is it about plants?
Low plants.
You know,
Real bright plants,
only
yeah.
at, 3 feet high or 2 feet high. But we integrate learning into it, educational, alphabet, math, science.
Oh, great.
And,
Okay.
and it's just fun.
Okay, so the children's garden didn't exist until when?
We began taking back Vance Park actually about 15 summers ago, and it was a community garden. And then people move around and things change. And as People for Parks developed, we wanted to have something tangible within the community that was an amenity. And then that's when it morphed. This is the 7th summer that we've been developing it as a children's garden.
Wow. And
So it's pretty well established, but we're continually adding new features
Isn't
to
that with
it.
any garden?
You know,
I mean, you
a
have
garden
to-
is always.
Yeah, you have to kind of look at it this year and go, okay, that wasn't working. We're gonna put something else in.
We can
or-
add this. It's
Yeah,
always
yeah.
a work in progress.
So tell me where this is located.
It's located along Southeast 182nd Avenue, south of Stark Street.
Okay.
And
about how big is the garden, would you say? The
it's
children's?
under an acre. So,
Okay.
so it's very specifically planned out. Every plant that is in that garden has a purpose. And we see hummingbirds. When we first began, we didn't even
love
see worms in the soil.
Really?
This is rockwood,
Yeah.
aptly named. Didn't see worms, we didn't see hummingbirds, we didn't see other types of birds, we didn't see dragonflies, we didn't see frogs, and now we have
No?
3 types of frogs in
Really?
the garden.
Are there
And,
water features in the garden?
We're working on that because we're working on water conservation as our focus this summer.
Oh, good.
And next summer we already know it's going to be about birds. But we're becoming more of a demonstration garden where we have a rain garden demonstration, naturescaping, tabletop and container gardening, square foot gardening. I mean, you
That's
could
great.
all of this
And it's not
coming
just for
together.
children, obviously.
No, adults enjoy it as
Yeah.
much as the kids do, and they can come in without a child.
Oh, really? How kind of you.
Children under 12 have to come in with an adult.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the full name is the Children's Imaginative Garden.
The Imaginative Children's Garden.
Or Imaginative Children's Garden.
Right.
Thank you. So, what is it? Where does the imagination part come from?
You know, it's not just a plant. You look at something and you go, we have a lot of fun. We have dinosaurs, and
Explain
that's
that,
the
Kathy.
dinosaur dig. And you create a scene.
Okay. So, are there
so
areas of the
there are
garden? that-
specific areas, and we have multicultural beds that have through signage in English, Spanish, and Russian.
Oh, great, great.
And the alphabet garden that features sunflowers as well as other flowers, but we actually have letters and we have items that the kids can match.
So, how does
We
that
do
work? You have
science,
like
we-
we're looking for the letter S and you find a sunflower, that kind of thing? Or?
Well, you can find an item in the container that starts with S. The
Oh, okay.
children practice their alphabet that way.
Okay. We have some pictures
have
from the garden
puppets.
too. I want to take a look at those because maybe I'll be able to
Yes,
explain
and
some of
maybe
this
the
too.
puppet pictures would show the children put on puppet plays for the adults, or the adults, the parents or adult with the child will do a puppet
Oh,
play,
how
and it's all impromptu. It's all just the children or adult.
That's great. That's
Very-
great.
very
They improvise
creative.
and yeah,
It's
I
very
can see
creative.
that. Okay. Now, what's the picture we're looking at right
That's
now?
that's the puppet deck.
Okay.
And they're sitting actually on, we call them mushroom seats or button seats, and they're really cute, and it just adds to the entire
The
scene.
flavor of the scene, yeah.
And they're in the shady game area. There are tables set up there that they can sit around and in the coolness of the day. And many people have said now, we have created an oasis
Oh, how great.
in the center of an
Right.
area that is very challenged to have any
Yeah.
amenities at all.
Right. Look at that. Isn't that pretty?
And that's where you see where
ABCs
the
and numbers.
ABCs and numbers game is a little to the right of that. In front is a sundial, and
Nice, that's good.
we are working on a time project for next summer as well.
Yeah,
And
teach the kids how to use the sundial and
sundial as well as time clocks, actual clocks
wow,
that we'll
okay.
be making up. That will be
That
cute.
sounds fun.
And these are some of the early stages of the garden earlier in the spring. And the butterfly tent was on, the pavilion was on the left, and the science tent was on the right.
And this is obviously a parade.
Yes, we do.
How cute is that?
we-
What parade was this? Do you
Actually,
know?
we participated in the teddy bear parade that we all love so
Yes,
much.
Yes, very popular.
And this was our second parade, actually, because we do at the end of summer butterfly release party and parade at Vance Park. We
Okay.
parade around the playground. Even adults wear butterfly wings.
I love the
and
butterfly
antennae. You can see our antennae there.
Oh,
So
look at
as we prepare for the butterfly release, we release the netting above. And of course, the lesson of the garden is nature. We have to work with nature. It's very real. It can be windy some days. You're dealing with the heat, the cold, and of course,
also very
we do
fragile.
monarch butterflies because of their endangered status. And so the children learn about monarchs, and that's
pretty.
one of them. And I'm hoping we'll have the chrysalis. It's all about timing. Usually, we always have some butterflies to release,
But you don't know how many for sure because
but
who knows, yeah?
nature takes its own time, and usually the week after I continue releasing monarchs.
Is that right?
So one of these years, but the bug chicks came to our party last
The
year, and
bug
then they led our parade around the playground leading up to the pavilion. And it's just another enrichment for the community to have about the bugs. And we have an entrance point in the garden. We want people to acknowledge they have entered a special space.
Oh, I like that. That's good. Yeah.
That they've become a part of that as well.
Free butterfly crossing. So you're going to have a butterfly release party. When is that?
August 25th
Okay.
from 2 to 4 p.m. And Ascension Lutheran Church shares very generously their parking lot with us.
So it's right.
So
there.
it's 2 o'clock. And we have refreshments. We always have watermelon and ice cream that volunteers provide, and some juice. We keep it light and simple because the kids
Well,
are so
focus
excited.
Is not on the food, and the
No,
focus
but-
is on nature and the. You know, I remember as a kid, monarch butterflies. I used to see monarchs all the time. I never see them
No.
anymore. So
The environment has
Yeah,
changed.
yeah.
There's so much more development. There's so much,
More
so,
pollution.
and that's the lesson that we also convey in the garden is about conservation and
so
being
you're really
aware.
teaching a lot while you're sharing beauty and having fun.
It is.
Yeah.
It's and people, we don't do it directly. We don't sit down and lecture somebody
Right,
and say,
right.
sit down, we want to tell you all this.
This is a much better way to learn, though. Yes.
They absorb.
Yeah,
And
they
we
appreciate
are at the point of providing written information as well about worm bins,
Okay. Yeah,
composting,
yeah.
and the water conservation. So it's become an educational center.
Well, I can understand your
Just
passion for it now,
happening.
Kathy. I
Just
can understand.
happening.
Yeah, we're out of time, but is there anything you want to leave our viewers with? What is something that people need to know about People for Parks? Do you need volunteers? Do you want people just to come to the garden?
We're an all volunteer garden.
Ah, okay.
The Gresham Parks and Rec coordinates with us as much as possible, and we try to support their efforts as much as possible. And I look forward to the future. I think there's a greater awareness now of how important the parks and recreation play within the bigger
lives.
picture in our lives. So I am actually very positive that we've reached a point where this is going to be integrated
Good.
more fully.
Okay, well, keep your optimism, Kathy, and keep working hard because you're doing terrific stuff. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for being on here today on Community Hotline. I will look forward to seeing you around the community, and we'll try to make it out to the butterfly release party.
Thank you. It's fun.
Don't go away. We'll be right back. We have Hands On Greater Portland coming on, and I know you're not going to want to miss that. I'm Monica Weitzel. Stay tuned.
Community media is priceless.
Valuable.
Community media lets you tell your story to fit your needs.
My favorite thing about community media is it's got to be the people's shows.
I think my favorite one is Karaoke Oli.
Oh, Karaoke Oli's a good one.
We sing live karaoke on TV for an hour.
Hamster versus Monster.
Nap Time with Kittens.
Community media brings programming like Chambers of Commerce, the Faith Community.
Psycho Chicken.
Do you have any UFO shows?
No, I wish we did.
I would like one of those too.
Yeah.
Children's programs, high school sporting events, and of course, the ubiquitous city council meetings.
Only when we hear from folks in their own voices with their own stories can we truly connect.